So here we can see nasty water pump, man. That stuff is nasty up in there. I hate to even be touching my camera right now. Getting a little gunked up. But you know how we do it on the channel. We keep it raw, baby. We keep it live action. So you can definitely tell, man, this is looking worse than I expect. So here it is, take number 1 on the old JB Weld dentist cavity tooth repair on the old KTM. I got 2 spots I taped up, made little borders, so hopefully we can repair those deep pitting areas and hopefully get a flat surface that we can seal a gasket up against, because we did have a couple patches that totally rotted away where a gasket wouldn't have sealed anymore. You've seen the major one up here. It's still taped up. I haven't really treated that yet or got to it, but anyway, we'll see how this turns out. Like I said, this is take number 1. There's definitely a decent amount of epoxy in there, so I'm not going to clump up any more than that in there. But this stuff should take a pretty long time to cure. It's going to basically be like a day's time, but it should set in about like maybe 4 hours. I can add and do another batch, but we'll come back and check on that later. So it's been about, I don't even know now, maybe 5 hours or so since we first put down the first batch of epoxy. You can see even our deep pockets. Oh, here we go. You can see in our deep pockets we are dry enough where I can remove this tape, but this is still not fully cured. And I might even put another layer in there just to fill that in a little bit more. But one more batch tonight. I'm going to throw some tape across this major crater, and we're going to go ahead and patch that up and throw some deep into where that pit is, and then we'll see how that looks in the morning. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back, YouTube. We're gonna roll into this one here today. Where I last left you was working on this case here. We had just such nasty pitting. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. So if you can come in here and check out, we had a real deep nasty pit here that I got plugged up. There was basically nothing here for the gasket to catch. Over here, guys, look at how bad that is. So we got all that material that we built up and raised over here as well. Now I did take my water pump, here we go, the water pump, and I did try to fit it in here, and I did notice our fin is just barely catching there. It's no big deal. This part here, here, and here is all fully cured. It's nice and hard. We're going to be able to sand that and work with it basically just like as if it was metal, so that's not going to be an issue. But you can see how it's not going to let that water pump rotate as of right now. So we did build up a little bit more of a lip than what we needed. As you can see, when this water pump's in there, this side of the wall is real tight, where this side opens up, and that's where your water is going to get flushed up and through this port. All right, also while we're here, you can see I did able to get a finger up in there, and I putty jammed it real nice. We got the epoxy was overflowing out of that hole where we initially blasted through with the pressure washer. Now again, guys, I did not use no crazy PSI pressure washer. This thing was just rotted away. It was on its last leg. It's still on its last leg. But once again, we're gonna make this thing work. I do believe in a couple days, you know, maybe by tomorrow, we might be able to have this bike running. All right, so enough talking about the case. I will take this tape here and make myself a little bridge. Here, bring it in here. I want them to see this. Look at the way how this, your water pump cover, it kind of has this dip in it. So guys, look. Oh my God, we have no material there. So you can see we have absolutely no material. So, another things. I did meet up with the guy that I originally brought this bike to the auction. He told me he had the number plates, and what do you know? He actually did have the number plates. These should be the originals, and if you look online, guys, this has got to be $140 all day long, or maybe 140. So we talking about what? Maybe like 132. What the heck is it again? Euros, maybe like 132 euros. Speaking of the whole euros and the Voopten Slimer here, guys, check it out. Got this in the mail today, little eBay special. This is come on in here. We got the 89 motor type engine types here. Motor typing engine types. So anybody wants to learn a little, I believe this has got to be German. I don't think Austria has its own language. I believe this is German. Once again, I'm no expert. I was so bad at Spanish, they actually made me take an extra art in elementary school. They kicked me out of Spanish class because I was, you know, terrible at it. But anyway, go ahead and bring them in on this. This thing I just think is just so neat. Yeah, I was incompetent. And as you can tell by my my diagrams here of my German to English translation, what do we got here? This is Kurbel, Trib, Kurbin, crankshaft piston is Kurbin. Oh man, I was even so bad at reading, they kicked me out of their English class too. Nothing but math and science for this kid, they said. But anyway, check this out. You got this good on there. This is where we're going to be moving on to next, guys. After we real quick putty up this last piece and let this cure on the casing, we're going to move on into the carburetor and clean out some of the jets. Pretty cool little diagram here you can see, all translated for you. Even come up here. Check out how big the reed block is on this bike for some reason. But anyway, I just thought this was real neat. I couldn't, you know, resist. I had to buy it. Money well spent, baby. This is original 89. It's older than me, older than you, Willie. This thing is, you know, it's a classic, baby. We're gonna keep the two strokes going, baby. All right, so if you like it, if you're a fan of the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. Get that bell on, because we're gonna have notifications coming. Right now, it's no big deal. Because when we cut in action, we edit for the credit. You hear what I'm saying? Just a special shout out for the Willie followers. All right, here we go, guys. Back to the action. We're going real quick, fill in this nasty crater. Get to it. Once again, look up in there, man. That thing is terrible, terrible. Anyway, this is going to be a $760 fix for about $750. You hear me? $750. $7.50. It's about €6 for you Europeans. All right, here we go. We're going to get to it now. We're going to finish filling in this nasty crack here. Once again, look at it one last time, because the next time you see it, won't look like that no more. Gonna mix up a little bit of this JB Weld. Might as well leave this baby Pepsi Cola side up. You know we love Pepsi around here. Today's video is brought to you by Pepsi and Frog Tape. What a combo. JB Weld, they didn't sponsor us. We had to pay the $750. I forgot. I don't really know how much the epoxy was anyway. Here we go. Just about try to go even 2 parts. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. All right, so you're gonna mix it up until it gets nice and gray. Next, we're gonna lay down our tape. So realistically, we kind of want to build up about this much material, I'd say. So we're gonna go ahead and take our tape into about here. Pull those corners tight. And once again, it's at least gonna be, you know, you can't, if anything, if we do a little bit too much, we'll be able to sand it, all right? So I'd rather put a little bit extra than a little bit short. Maybe one more on this little like corner up here. Might catch a little something there. That's for extra performance there. We're gonna have a double scoop. Call this the double scoop. This in there. We might have to mix up a little bit more. We might have want a skimpy. All right, so we got our first glob in there. Now it's time to take the finishing tool. All right, get up in there. I mean, I'm kind of happy with that, man. I'll tell you what, it looks pretty damn good. I see a little bit of a close-up. There we go. Look at that high performance intake, guys, man. We'll tell you what, like I said, this case, they want $700 some online for it. This epoxy probably wasn't more than $7. All right, nothing left to do but let that sit and cure. even up in here, I'm happy with that for what we got going on. I'm going to leave that as it is. Maybe, well, maybe I might take one little bit of what I got it here. And maybe smoothing out up in here. After a couple minutes of screwing around, I realized these are not screws. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna bring you in and check this out. Just a quick little pop here, pop there. And look at that. We got a nice clean air filter in there, so this is a good sign. Ooh. All right, so check it out. That's definitely a good sign. That looks nice and clean. I don't know how good you can see in there. But anyway, that looks pretty clean up in there. And then look at this. Hold on, is my camera on? What in the hell is this crap? What in the heck is that? So there is some type of crap all in the bottom of this here. I still do not, this should definitely not be no part of no old air filter or nothing. I have no idea what this is. Maybe some type of cat was stashing, I don't know. I have no idea. Some type of gunk buildup. Anyway, that was in the bottom. Other than that, we'll have to clean all this out where you can see where it was pretty two-strokey, soaky, oily up in there. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to, oh man. This got the fur, cat scratch fever. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this carburetor out next. All right, so we got the carburetor out, and at first glance, man, things are looking pretty good and clean in here. So no major red flags right off the get-go. All right, so we got our bowl out, and as you can see on a KTM, they got like a dual float system going on here. So that's something different I haven't seen before. So we can hear our float valve is working good. I'll bring you guys on in. We got our carburetor off. We went through all of our jets. Everything was nice and clean looking to begin with. So we definitely got a nice clean carburetor here. I'm gonna finish scrubbing it up and just clean it up a little bit. But other than that, we're gonna put this back together, slap it back onto the bike. My casing is nice and cured, so we're gonna be moving on to that next. All right, so check it out. We got a nice bridged out area here. You could tell how bad it was. We're even gonna have to add a little bit, maybe more there, but really that is only gonna seal there. Let's take a look with the cover. So you can really see that area that I didn't get any epoxy in there. That's really not even gonna have any gasket material on there. But I'm still gonna smush some in there and clean it up. All right, so here we go. Good news and bad news on the build. All right, first bad news is, if we look at our engine numbers, here we can see on the head, our numbers start with 555. Oh, so that means we actually have the 350 Enduro version. So this is not the 500 that I thought, but we're working on the 350 two-stroke, okay? Good news is, look at this water pump housing, guys. This thing is butter. That thing came out beautiful. You can see in here, we're gonna be free and rotating nice. I cleaned up all in here and evened it out. And then I had a couple of raised areas in here that were giving me trouble, but luckily I had this Dremel bit that I was able to get in there on those angles and really clean that up well. I went up in here and cleaned this up as well. So, man, check it out. That thing has got clearance all the way around. It's looking great. I'm gonna real quick buff this and clean this up a little bit, and then I'm gonna put a little bit there. Then before you know it, we're gonna be bolting this thing up, clean the gas tank out, trying to get this bike running. So here it is, the final product of our epoxy patch job on the KTM. Again, guys, this was like a $700 casing online, and we fixed it for about $7. I'm almost sure this is going to work fine, but only one way to find out. All right, it's going to be the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned, get the notifications on. So next video, we're going to throw this case on, put fresh fuel, and see if it holds up and see if we can get this bike running. All right, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.